So by now, everybody and their mothers have made videos about Pokémon Go, and it makes sense because of how unbelievably big it has gotten. It's estimated to have been downloaded over 75 million times and has essentially become an instant phenomenon. But with a game like this receiving such immense popularity, it really isn't that surprising that a few disturbing stories have popped up in the last couple of weeks. These experiences are bizarre and don't represent the game as a whole, but of course, strange and disturbing things have happened to a small number of players. So we're gonna have a look at just that. So here are 5 incredibly disturbing Pokémon Go experiences. Number 1. While Pokémon Go can be a distraction, it usually doesn't have such negative repercussions. Well, unfortunately, this was the case for a 15-year-old girl who actually walked across a busy highway around 20 miles outside of Pittsburgh while she was trying to catch a Pokémon. Because she was fixated on her phone, she was soon hit by a car. Luckily, she was fine and managed to escape with some minor injuries, but the mother actually blamed this incident on Pokémon Go. But to be honest here, you shouldn't be walking across highways while looking at your phone, regardless of what game you're playing, especially when that game tells you to be aware of your surroundings. Number 2. Due to the fact that Pokémon Go uses your location in order to connect with other players, it isn't too much of a surprise that some criminals have tried to use the game to commit crimes. At around 2 AM in Missouri, 4 teenagers were arrested for using the app to lure unsuspecting victims to shady locations, where they proceeded to rob them at gunpoint. They apparently set up a beacon at a Pokestop which people then went to. Soon after they committed these crimes, they were caught and arrested. They were charged with first-degree robbery and their bond was set at $100,000. Number 3. While Pokémon Go has achieved critical acclaim and quickly rose to popularity, there are quite a few people who are not fans of the game. While this is standard enough, sometimes that hatred can be taken to an extreme. This was the case with an incident involving a 36-year-old woman in Maine who apparently ran over a 37-year-old after a heated argument about Pokémon Go took place. It was stated by eyewitnesses that the two argued about the game and the 36-year-old woman quickly got into her car and proceeded to run the other person over. She of course was later caught and arrested and charged with aggravated assault. Number 4. It's a well-known fact that Pokémon Go can take you to some weird locations. In fact, many players have stated that they have found places in their area that they didn't even know existed. Well, you can also find some strange things. This was the case for 19-year-old Shayla Wiggins, who discovered a dead body floating in a river in the early hours of the morning while she was trying to catch a water Pokémon. The Wyoming resident quickly phoned the police, and they later stated that the death was more than likely accidental. There have actually been a few instances of Pokémon Go players finding some strange things. However, this is definitely the most disturbing so far. Number 5. Over the last few weeks, we've learned that certain Pokémon Go players will go just about anywhere to catch rare Pokémon. Well, this was the case for 2 teenagers from Guatemala who apparently broke into a house while playing the game. Now, there have been a few different articles telling different stories, with the major flaw in some of these articles being that Pokémon Go will not directly lead you into someone else's house. However, a lot of people are putting it down to a glitch. Regardless of what the real story is, the conclusion was the same, and it was a disturbing one. It's reported that the 2 teenagers were tracked down and shot at. One of the young men survived, however he received major injuries. But the other, 18-year-old Jerson Lopez de Leon, was killed. Police found over 20 bullet casings at the scene, but are apparently still looking for the suspects. And that's it for this video. I hope you were entertained in some way, and if you were, don't forget to hit that like button. I'll leave a link down below to more disturbing 5s, and also remember, this video isn't a representation of Pokémon Go as a whole, so don't let this video stop you from going out, having a good time and playing it. But that's all for now. As always, until next time.